This just broke about an hour and a half before we decided to go live. James Corden is leaving the Late Late Show in 2023. He recently just signed, he extended his contract with CBS Late Night for 1 year and will depart ahead of the summer of 2023. This is what he said. He told Deadline, quote, "It's been a really hard decision to leave because I'm so immensely proud of the show. I'm thrilled to be extending for a year. I've always thought of doing it for 5 years, then leave. Then I stayed on. I've been really thinking about it for a long time, thinking whether there would be one more adventure." Now, he was taping his show today when this announcement came out. So a lot of people, because when you do a lot of these live tapings, you go to these tapings, you can't have your phone or a mobile device or shit like that with you, or you can't use it. And so this is what he said to the crowd. He said, "I got some news to share of my own. 7.5 years ago, I started hosting this show. It has changed my life. I love it. I love all the people who work here. I am so proud of what we have achieved. It is beyond my wildest dreams. I'm happy to announce today I've signed a new contract to carry on." Well, the crowd cheered, right? But he cut him off and he said, "That's really only half the story. The other half is the sadder news. I signed on for 1 year of the show, and this will be my last." So the crowd began to boo because niggas be like, "Boo, nigga, we want you in longer." So he said, "Don't you dare." He went on and said this because he started tearing up and said, "When I started this journey, it was going to be just that. It was going to be a journey, an adventure. I never saw it as my final destination. I never want this show to overstay its welcome. I always want to love making it. I think in a year from now that will be a good time to move on to see what else is out there. We all determined to make this the best year we ever had. We're going to go out with a bang. There'll be tears, so many tears, because this has been the hardest decision I've ever had to make. I never took this for granted." When it ends, he will have hosted the Late Late Show for 8.5 years after he took it over from Craig Ferguson in 2014. Your thoughts?
Pay Craig Ferguson whatever he wants. Get him back, please. I hate James Corden. He's not funny. He is not good to his employees. And I would be happy for him to go back to England and never step foot in the United States on television again.
Wait in the water, children.
I'm happy that it's done. Like, finally. Although maybe if they signed him off for longer, he'd stop being in movies and then we wouldn't have to see him in movies.
Because he was he's going to keep doing, I think that's what it is. I think he's finna go strictly to movies.
Yeah, he wants to do more stuff like Cats.
Yep. He wants to be he wants to be what Josh Gad was in Beauty and the Beast. That's why he did Cats.
But he's not as charismatic. And he doesn't understand that.
Hey, listen. Between him and everybody going like him leaving and then people acting all sad Ellen's leaving, I'm like, yo, do y'all not understand the monstrous stories about Ellen DeGeneres that have come out? This is how you know when we say white privilege and even white woman privilege is a thing. Because if Ellen DeGeneres was a dude in general, that show that got pulled. They are allowing her to run the whole season out and a farewell thing like it's all good.
I mean, we just heard last week about Frank Langella getting removed from a movie. Bill Murray got removed from a movie because of their conduct on set recently.
But here's the thing too with that. I'm kind of glad you said
which
that.
I don't think is a bad thing, but it just shows you that if it was a dude, that shit would have been wrapped.
It'll wrap
over.
Nigga, they pulled Bill Murray off a set. A dude who has never had any complaints. For the most part, right?
Yeah.
But also it's like, what is bad conduct nowadays too? Like harassment?
Fair.
Because that's another question needs to be asked. Harassment and just like, there's this thing of now with, how employees in certain jobs, they're like, yo, my boss is yelling at me. And like, if they're yelling just like, yo, y'all are fucking up, that's one thing. But just to yell, that's a different thing.
I mean, and even if they're yelling at you because you're fucking up, there's a way to yell at somebody without it being like the wrong, like they don't need to be out here calling people bitches and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely true.
Like that, and like saying like your mother should have swallowed you and shit like that shit. That's out of pocket. We fighting, but like,
I wish I would be able to say the nigga say your mama should have swallowed you.
But you know what I'm saying is like there's a way to yell at someone for fucking up without it being demeaning, and that's where it gets to they're crossing the line. And back to the original point, I'm happy, glad, good riddance, goodbye. I know I can turn on the Late Late Show in a year, and I will be happy to watch it.
Hey, what are niggas gonna do without carpool karaoke? How are we niggas gonna make it?
It's me. I'm niggas.
He said sarcastically.
Oh no, where is Adele gonna appropriate more black culture?
I've made a huge mistake.
I mean, because where else are we gonna see Michelle Obama do karaoke? I mean, what are we gonna do now for the Late Late Show without James Corden? What are we gonna do?
Do something else. Do something else. That's it. That's all we want. Do something else.
And we shall, T-Pain. And we shall. Again, it's always been this thing, though, that Brits are considered, I don't know why. It's something about American execs wanting to grab Brits for American shows and thinking that's the move all the time.
I mean, I get it for acting stuff, like scripted stuff, because traditionally British actors are trained in a theater. They have like technical training that a lot of American actors don't have. Mm-hmm. Same with Australian actors. They go to schools and they put in the time and the work and the effort and all that stuff that just kind of doesn't happen here. And I'm not saying for all actors in America. I don't want anyone to go and take me like exactly, but what I mean by that is in Australia, in Britain, you're not going to have a TikTok star sign an 8-picture deal to make slasher films. They're not going to do that. They're not going to put their money behind an untrained star. Mm-hmm. Which is stuff that happens every single day here in America. They're like, oh, they're famous on TikTok. Give them a movie. It'll put butts in seats. They don't actually care about the person being a good actor.
Yeah, nigga, because before there was TikTok, remember there was YouTube Red. I don't know how many people remember that. When they were giving all the people who had the high level of subscribers, they were giving them their own shows, and that shit died quickly. But we want to know what you think about it with James Corden leaving the Late Show. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Blerds in the Hood every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. All full episodes exclusively available on Twitch. www.twitch.tv/BLERDS, the letter NTHEHOOD. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.